Morning, morning, everybody. It's Monday and Michelle is here. Make sure my face is clean. It's like I always got something on my lips, on my face, but like I said, I ain't re-recording none of this. I'm gonna let you see me as I am, and I'm doing everything to flow. Just flow, let it go. But anyway, it's Monday. I was outside earlier today, and I just started thinking about some things. You have to always constantly be on alert and be present to not set yourself back. I mean, there always are setbacks in life, to expect that. But there are some setbacks in life that it may take years or decades to recover from. So that's why you have to always be mindful of what you are doing 24/7, you know, and make sure you know who you are hanging out with, who you are hanging around, and make sure that you are not staying around the same crowds that may cause you to set yourself way back, especially if you develop yourself. Now, for me, it was always important for me to evolve my consciousness, to repair my psyche, and to advance my meditation and this and that and the other. So that meant that I'm gonna have a different set of routines, or a different set of people that I hang around, or a different type of environment. And it's not to say that anything was wrong with that, but sometimes it's time to move on and advance yourself, and get yourself moving to be elevated and to be evolving your consciousness. And that's what it's all about for me. Everybody has their own purpose in life and their own goals and intentions and this and that and the other. But when I notice about when it comes to consciousness, that's so delicate and so important to always maintain control over and not be influenced by the constant moving of thoughts, the constant moving of negative encasement of negativity. Where you are working constantly to elevate yourself, yes, but to be neutralized as such, to make whatever you're doing realistic and grounded in reality. Because for example, it makes no sense for me to say I'm going to have a doctorate degree by the end of the year. I mean, that makes no sense to me because first of all, that's not an intention of mine, and also it's unrealistic. Especially if I tell you I'm not I'm not that type of student. I'm a different type of student where I self educate myself, and I don't need a doctorate. I don't want a doctorate or whatever. I don't need all of that. Okay, and that's my preference. So everything has to always be grounded in reality, and you need to, like I said, you can easily slip back and roll yourself back. That can easily be done, and I do everything I can to talk as a layperson and make sure that I'm clearly understood, that I'm speaking clearly and effectively. You can easily roll yourself back. In other words, fall off the wagon. You know how some people are working on recovering from some type of not addiction. You know how easy that is to fall back off the wagon, as they say. Well, the same thing can happen with consciousness. You can be evolving your consciousness all you want in your perspective or in your perception, but anything can easily roll you back into where you are encased in just as much negativity, and even more so, more extreme, because that's usually what happens. Once you get yourself out of negativity and neutralize yourself, you can easily fall back and go even more extreme and be more negative in your rhetoric. I'm watching it and observing it happen, as a matter of fact. And so I'm not surprised because sometimes, like I said, sometimes we just kind of take on more than we can handle, and we feel like we're knowledge, that we are the knowledge base, and that's not true at all. You get that from outside of you, and you cultivate it within you, and you ruminate on it. Not ruminate. Oh, Lord, don't say ruminate. You contemplate on it, and then you see how you can produce from it. It's a process. And I don't like to go into all these technical terms because it's irrelevant and nobody's going to remember it anyway. But if you speak to people on a clearly effective manner, I think you come across a little bit more, and you get better results from people, because that's what it's all about. I cannot run this planet by myself, nor can say a 1,000 of us, or let's say even 1,000,000 of us. 1,000,000 of us cannot run this planet without the help of everyone. Okay, we can only make a small contribution, and that's basically all we can. That's all we're doing. Basically, it's making our contribution to society, to humanity, and we're spreading universal love. Loving people, accepting people. Do we agree? No. Do I like you? No. Is that relevant? No. But I don't want to make the mistake to be going into conversations with people where my whole objective is to be better than they are, even though people won't say it, or to be more knowledgeable than they are. Okay, and to be trying to drill rhetoric down their throat, or drill the truth down their throat, or try to drill their agenda down people's throat. My goodness, and trying to bestow yourself as some type of leader, of all-knowing leader at that. No, we're all in this together. We're all equal. We're here to assist people and to teach people certain things about how to live in a more peaceful coexistence. Okay, and to survive as well. Survival is very important as well because of the weather and all unexpected events. Let's put it that way. There's always going to be a level of uncertainty and a level of certainty. And that's where you keep learning about it and how you can bring it into more of a certainty and not necessarily so much uncertainty. It's just a constant learning forever, forever, forever. There's no end ever to learning, to evolving, to elevating. And it ought to be exciting. It is extremely exciting to me to know that there's mysteries that are unfolding with it right before my eyes, or what I hear, what I feel, what I sense and receive. I think that's a beautiful thing. And again, for me, I do everything I can to stay righteous. I respect myself, and therefore I respect others. I love myself, therefore I love others. That's how it works. Hatred is self-hatred. Love is self-love. No ifs, ands, or but about it. So either you love people or you don't. And that's to these so-called teachers out there, or these so-called self-proclaimed leaders, or whatever title you want to give yourself. Make sure it's about love. Okay? Otherwise, you're just spinning your wheels and wasting people's time and draining people's energy. That's one thing that we're really going to have to work on, is how we drain the energy out of good, upstanding people and not willing to think for yourself. You're given information, think about it. See how you can work it out. So, everything's going fantastic, though, nonetheless, in my world. My yard is looking beautiful out there. The inside of the house is basically empty, except I got some not props, but I have items that I still have in here that will be used as staging. When the house goes on the market, it's just staging stuff is still in here. So that's gonna get taken care of hopefully by this week. If I need to do any more this and that and the other, this place should go on the market by next week. Okay, so and that's how it is when you visualize and you want things to happen. Honey, it starts happening. That's when you have to be ready. you have to be ready, and I'm ready. Each night, I get up at night, early in the morning, like usually right after midnight. I'll get up and I'll do some meditation at that time, like around between midnight to say 3 a.m. I do. I used to, I do meditation throughout throughout the day, of course. Like I said, I'm in full body meditation, but this particular type of meditation was a visualization. I go out on my patio, again, the full moon there. And not that I'm, the full moon is just there. Everybody loves the full moon. It's beautiful. There's something about it spectacular to me. And I know there's something more going on up there than we'll ever know, possibly during our lifetime. But irregardless, it's still a beautiful thing to see. I don't know anyone that I know of that does not get there's a feeling or something that we're sensing about the moon, okay, and the beauty of it, and how magnificent it is. So that's what happened this early this morning. I guess around 2 or 3 in the morning. I'll get up, I'll look out and take in it all, listen. I use all of my senses when I'm out there, but visual is one of my favorites, of course, as I told you. To see the magnificence of the moon, the full moon, and how my bamboos are moving and swaying. Because the moon has a lot to do with the gravitational pull, and how it works with our planet. It works it works together. This planet couldn't do as it's doing without the moon. They all work together, and that's how we need to get to that point sometime. Otherwise, this just doesn't look good. So we're gonna have to get to a point where we are working in cohesiveness, and where we are collectively working together to bring, because keep in mind, like I said, we do reincarnate, whether people want to accept that or not. And remember, planet Earth is where we've been doing all of that for thousands of years. We've been reincarnated on planet Earth. So this Earth has been providing us the place where we can do what is required, but yet we're not taking care of the planet. You understand? And so that's where things are just going to have to come to a head. Okay, like I said, the cause and effect, reap what you've sown. No such things as chance, no such things as coincidence. The pendulum is swinging out there, the boomerang. And if we can't learn our lessons after thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and thousands of teachers, thousands of people that are willing to help, we've had the so-called prophets, the so-called messengers, the so-called teachers. It goes well beyond what's necessary. And still, the majority of the people on the planet are not paying attention at all. Nobody's paying attention to the overpopulation, not only of almost 10 billion people, but not to mention all the buildings, all the equipment, all the drilling in the earth, drilling outside the earth. There's just constant ignorance, and it's a constant disregard, and everybody's thinking, oh, somebody else is going to be able to take care of that. Well, that's going to be your descendants, and as well your future personalities that will have to deal with that. And in most cases, depending on what region, a lot of humans are just not going to survive. Okay, and if they do happen to come to life as a birth, that may not even last. You understand? So it's a lot of us are setting ourselves up for just pure terror, pure chaos and destruction, and it's all unnecessary, and it doesn't have to be that way. But I don't know why people cannot accept certain evidence. There's plenty of evidence to support that there's an issue on the planet, but most people choose to put their blinders on, or just trying to confuse people, or see a benefit to it, see a financial gain to it, see how they can continue to use people and abuse them and enslave people. So The energy of the thoughts are going to put you exactly where you need to be. Not necessarily where you want. The people that have put in the work have a little bit more control over what they want to happen. And that's why I'm saying via visualization and doing the proper things like meditation. Those of you that want to continue to be unconscious, disregarding, blah, blah, blah. Well, like I said, the energy of your thoughts are going to put you where you need to be, because we all need to resolve the errors in our ways and come to a neutralization of our thoughts and our action and our behaviors. Okay? So I hope that's helpful for anyone that's who cares to listen. I want to send peace and love. And guess what? I'll be back.